it was a real hostile place, and like it sticks with you. It does, and I think the more of that, the better. And I completely understand why fans would, you know, that nervousness and the tension would come out. I get it. Emotions are normal, and we've got to try and find a way to be conscious about changing it. It's consistent effort compounded over time, right? What we're doing, how we can be better, how we improve, driving the group, making sure they're engaged in that process and part of it and all in. Loads of work goes into that sort of stuff around where our assists are going to come from and how we're going to get into those areas. It's a huge football club. It's a completely different animal than you realise. I could count on one hand how many impressed me to the point Jack did.
I'm joined by first team coach David Bridges. David, thanks for giving me some of your time. Really, really appreciate that. I've heard already from all of the other coaches about coaching to the point where my brain's frazzled. So I'm not going to go into coaching anymore. But you've experienced Kenilworth Road as a player, as an opposition player. How daunting can it be?
Hostile, yeah. I played here when the club was in the National League 2, so obviously in a difficult time, looking at what it's been achieved since. But I think because I played for the neighbours, it was a real hostile place, and like it sticks with you. It does, and I think the more of that, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we can get back to that hostility, we're, if not a goal up, we're certainly on a level playing field, aren't we? Maybe on the front foot. Saturday, I thought, was in lines with that in the early stages. I thought first 10 minutes, maybe everyone was just trying to work out what was going on, fans-wise, players-wise. But then once we grew into the game, I thought the fans were behind the players were doing good things, and we played some really nice football.
I think the at kickoff, the welcome for Jack, the buzz, like it was obvious, right? Obviously the thinking of like him arriving, like just changes everything, and we're all off and running would be naive. So look, there was moments in that first half that there was plenty to shout about. There was some big opportunities, we didn't take them, and I completely understand why fans would, you know, that nervousness and the tension would come out. I get it. So I think it's one of those, like, being conscious for us as staff and coaches to breathe life into the players and build confidence and try and change course of travel from what's gone on for the last 18 months and just talk about vision and where we're going. At the same time, there's also that little bit of conscious work around how we try and get the fans to almost like suppress that feeling of tension and try and flip it, if you like. So it's both, isn't it? It's worked both ways, and the bit really is that we're human. So it's like the emotions of whatever end you are with the players or as a fan, emotions are normal, and we've got to try and sort of find a way to be conscious about changing it.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, one of my disappointments on Saturday was that we didn't score.
Oh no.
Because I'd have loved to have seen the reaction of everything had we have scored, because let's say we scored the penalty at that point, we'd been in control for about 20-25 minutes at that point. Under no circumstances were they looking like scoring. They barely got into our half. I'm guessing your game plan was working really, really well. Had we have scored, I think the stadium would have been bouncing.
Agree.
I think the players would have been buzzing. And I probably would, when Mansfield scored, they should have scored straight after. I kind of got the impression in my head, and maybe that's just me as a positive thinking fan, that had that penalty have gone in, we'd have gone down the other end and got a second before half time. The game just changed on a knife edge.
I think that's what football is, right? That it can go either way so easily. And when there's been a period of time that the club have had up to now, it feels like it always goes the way it went Saturday, right? So I suppose it's it's consistent effort compounded over time, right? That thing around like every day getting to work, keeping on the engagement around what we're doing, how we can be better, how we improve, driving the group, making sure they're engaged in that process and part of it and all in. So I think over that work and that time, things change on the Saturday. It's not like, maybe it will be a little bit of luck that things do flick and it all like it goes in off someone's knee and like you're off and running. So I think it's like you earn it a bit. There's some work to do, so you earn that right.
And on the flip side, of course, anything that can go wrong or a piece of brilliance kind of happens to you, like their first goal, you know, it's a worldy strike, isn't it? It's an unbelievable strike. And they're ending up in the top corner when things are going well. They're ending up in the back of the stand, and you know, it's changing that around. I guess putting the ball in the back of the net, obviously, as a player yourself, you know, it's the hardest thing in the game to do. How can we improve on that though? Because over the last maybe 12 months or so, that's probably been our downfall. We've got relegated on goal difference. So basically by not scoring enough goals and obviously letting too many in at the other end. This season, the goal output not been great. I think we've only scored 3 goals in one game this season, and many would have expected more goals to flow with the certainly with the quality of attacking players we've got. How do we work on that? Because obviously that's a psychology as well as a technical thing. The psychology is only going to improve when the ball goes in the back of the net. So it's a circle that we need to join up. How do you join it up?
I think as coaches, it's a case of repetition. The thing around what type of finish are we going to create? Therefore, keep replicating it. Breathe life and confidence into arriving at the right moment because of how the moment sort of is created. So loads of work goes into that sort of stuff around where our assists are going to come from and how we're going to get into those areas, and then making sure that the players are just like natural and relaxed in that moment to finish. Obviously, like we said, around like the confidence and the situation, you get a bit tense, you get snatching at things. So it's a case of just like being competent and giving them loads of moments to do it all the way through the week, and it comes good in from the end, right?
Eventually one goes in, and then that's a good feeling again, isn't it? Fantastic. Absolutely. You've been around the sort of lower leagues as a player and as a coach. You've come to Luton Town. On a scale of where where you've been, how do you rate this club? How big is this club?
Do you know what I was saying to Jack after this first couple of days? It's a huge football club, miles bigger than you realise when you're on the outside. The size of the operation, the size of like the club as a whole. I think you have your own perception of what it was from your own experience. And my experience, as I said, was from before. Now I'm in it. It's a completely different animal than you realise.
And we're in a really, really good room. I mean, look, my figure will tell you I don't do gyms very often, but this looks really, really impressive.
It's top. I think the infrastructure and what's in place is beyond the league. So we're really fortunate in that sense that the people that are in place in different positions around the football club to make sure that the facilities and the care for the players, because like, let's get it right, we're all here to help them perform on Saturday. That's our jobs. And with that comes loads of pressure, but when you've got everything you need to get to the moment, it helps. And not every club has that. You do here. So it's brilliant.
And obviously Jack knows all about this place. How much does it help that Jack knows about this place, that he's kind of got that inside him, that inner drive to do well because he has that affection with the club?
Yeah, the story's pretty special, right? The affinity he has with the area, being local, being here as a boy, I completely understand. I think the big thing around this whole situation, opportunity, and the timing of it is it just feels so right. Is the timing is always important, and it feels like there's a moment in time that we can create something, and there's not many clubs around the country that that could have worked out for, but the stars have aligned, if you like. So I think the next sort of short while, I'm really pleased to be a part of, and I think everyone's well aware of this opportunity and how we're going to go about it, and make sure that there can never be anything said where, oh, I wish we'd done this, I wish we could have done that. Like, it's just like you attack everything.
You've known Jack for a while. How would you rate him as a coach? As fans, we're still getting to know him. Yeah. We've obviously only seen 90 minutes and improved 40 minutes at least in amongst that 90 minutes. But as a coach, what's he like in comparison to other coaches that you've kind of worked with and under? Yeah,
I was fortunate enough in a previous role to work with some of the top people in the world in the game. So I would say there is, I could count on one hand how many impressed me to the point Jack did. Just as a human, he's just got no ego, and you forgive him for having one if he did, but he doesn't. The humility he has, his work ethic, he's so engaged in being better every day and learning the game, and he's always open to new information, new ways, stuff. Like, his ears are open, his eyes are like ready, and I think with that brings a certain type of person, how he surrounds himself, and I think that's why this club fits, because you meet Gary and you meet the way he speaks about the club and his passion for it and his love, and it's no surprise you have the type of people that work at the football club daily all in one place together. Like, it's something where Gary spoke about the feeling, the home that it is for people, and then when you experience it and you live it, you do feel it every day. So I think for Jack, he's an impressive individual, and I think he's going to go at the top because of his mentality and his work ethic.
And we're all enjoying, hoping, being a part of that journey. Ultimately, though, a football club is as good as its players. You've worked with them now for going on for a week or so.
Yeah.
What have you made of the squad? What's your initial impressions? And I guess the question that, as a fan, I've got to ask, have we got enough here to start climbing this table and get out of the division?
Well, the answer is yes, absolutely. I think the surprise is that you'd never know what's happened in the previous 18 months if you didn't know. The energy, the people, how they're going about their work, players, staff. I think you would never know in terms of the environment and how it feels, and I think that's a good thing. Then there's that little bit around how we build the confidence and put that back into the players, because how they go about their daily work is incredible and it's impressive. Like the hunger, the standards, the competition every day. So it's just fine-tuning it, finding ways to support individuals and breathe life. So that's the challenge.
And I wish you well with that challenge, David.
Brilliant
Thanks
stuff.
very much for giving me your time.
No
Appreciate
problem.
that.
Thank you.